Hi guys, it's I Do Psych, bringing you a very quick video today, I hope, and wanted to really focus on the forced abortion incident that happened in China, and one that is about to occur as well, unless there is some kind of, if you want to call it, stay of execution. Sorry if I don't sound very well today. I have a pretty dangerous blood condition, as well as fibromyalgia, and actually doing this kind of distracts me and takes my mind off of it, so thank you for bearing with me. So let's take a look at what's going on, and then we'll kind of go over things.
These are pictures filmed by Al Jazeera after sneaking into a Chinese hospital. Xiao Aiying would only let us film from the neck down. She is terrified of retribution. Her crime, violating the country's one-child policy. Her punishment, a forced abortion, when she was 8 months pregnant.
I had felt the baby moving round and round my belly. Can you imagine how I feel now?
Her husband, also scared, would only speak to us briefly outside the hospital and not out in the open.
There were many men surrounding my wife. They held her arms behind her back, pushed her head against the wall, kicked her stomach, and I don't know if they were trying to give her a miscarriage right there and then.
The police locked her up here and gave her unborn baby a lethal injection. What you're looking at now is Xiao Aiying with a dead fetus still inside her.
The child we do have is 10 years old. She's been feeling my wife's belly as it has grown larger and larger over the month. And my daughter says, I will have a little brother soon. I don't know how I can possibly explain to her what has happened.
What's unexpected about this case is where this took place, in Xiamen. Forced abortions sometimes happen in remote areas of China, but this one occurred in one of the country's most modern cities. In recent years, there have been plenty of mothers who have violated China's one-child policy. They usually pay a fine, anywhere from $1,000 to $40,000 US, but are then often sterilized to prevent them from having another child. Forced abortions are not condoned by the central government, but it clearly still happens. Every few years...
Okay, so one of the reasons that this is so horrible is obviously just the nature of having to submit to that type of procedure unwillingly. Now, you can only imagine how this woman was reacting during the time that they were injecting her with the injection that she knew would take her baby's life. I find this so horrendous. As most of you know, I am a mom of 7, 6 of those who I gave birth to myself. If someone were to try and take one of my children away from me, from the time of conception on, without my approval, I'm not an abortion advocate. I'm not pro-life, but I do respect the choice of others completely. But if someone tried to thrust this upon me when it wasn't my decision, and speaking not from a psychologist's point of view, I'm speaking from a mother's point of view, I would, like she did, kick and scream and fight. I think I would fight to the death. I'm pretty sure I would fight to the death. And if you don't think that a mom can do some serious damage, I think that would be an underestimation of maternal instinct. So another thing I wanted to point out is there's another case that's going on right now, and a woman actually, I believe she only has until tomorrow, I think, to come up with the equivalent of that fee, which might be the whole $40,000. I'm not sure what it is. It's somewhere in the range that she was speaking of, before they actually abort her child as well. Now, she's 5 months pregnant. if I could give her the money, and I could give her the money, then, I mean, if you're watching, contact me. I'll give you the money. I will give you the money. I will come up with the money. I will get donations. We'll do whatever we have to do. Send me a personal message. I don't know if one of her friends and family would ever be watching YouTube or this video goes viral. We'll come up with the money. YouTube will come up with the money. We'll do it as a community. So another thing I wanted to point out, is that they said the government is not, a participant, an active participant in these programs where the women actually get have these forced abortions. But yet, I mean, I'm not really sure about what they've done to stop it as well. So making these types of videos viral is what gave this mother, who has until, only a few days to actually have another opportunity to come up with some other type of solution. We need to get this out in the media as much as possible. We need to break this open and shed the light on this. This is not somebody who's pro-choice and decided, hey, I want to have an abortion just because that was my choice or whatever. Now, I mean, other countries, they have similar situations. For example, no, not forced abortion. Let me go backwards a little bit. In Russia, you are allowed to have an abortion if you are in the poorer category. So a lot of times, a lot of this is based on, income, relevance. Now, I get a lot of flack sometimes because I have this many children. My husband and I are both professionals. We are more than able to support our children, and we, give to charity and stuff like that as well. I do a lot of community work, but I never believe that that's a reason why someone should have to abort their child. So, most abortions actually occur there in Russia. United States is not too far behind. Now, we don't have all of the statistics of China's abortions, to be honest with you. So one thing that I also wanted to mention to you, I have some statistics for you that you might be interested in here. In 2008, approximately 1.21 million abortions took place in the U.S. That was down from an estimated 1.29 million in 2002, etc., etc. Now, 50 million legalized abortions have taken place here in the United States. Like I said before, I'm not going to put my opinions on anyone else. Obviously, I have a personal choice, but that's personal for me. Now, we can talk about overpopulation and stuff like that. We could talk about Freakonomics, the correlation. Like I said, I have a lot of history and psychology. I love to study stuff like Freakonomics too, which did show a interesting correlation without causation between when Roe versus Wade was passed, when those children actually came of age who might have been committing crimes in certain demographics. They were no longer represented in those demographics, so crime rates in certain areas actually went down, and they contribute to that. However, when you compare that to other countries who have similar birth rates, anti-abortion actual thinking, then that kind of all goes out the window. So we're not sure about that. So another thing I want to point out is women between the ages of 20 and 24 obtained a third of all abortions in the United States. In 2008, women aged 20 to 29 had the highest abortion rates. Now, I thought it was just interesting to see too that, number one is in New York. Number two is in New York City, Florida, and then followed by Texas. The fewest occurred in Wyoming, South Dakota, and North Dakota, and Idaho. Now, I don't know what type of correlation you want to put towards that. I do know that there is some type of correlation between education and abortion. Now, you might think that it would be, the less educated you are, the more abortions that you might have. you know, do some research into that and look for yourself, because it's very interesting. Now, back to that story about, you know, this woman, these two women in China that we're focusing on in the media right now. You know, this is pretty much the saddest thing I've ever witnessed on the internet. After the woman who actually was forced to have the abortion by lethal injection of the fetus, baby, they actually have a photo of her on a hospital bed, laying next to her her stillborn child. Her child is just in a trash bag, and its lifeless body is laying there. And in order to research the story, I had to, you know, go through all of this, and really did help to see that photo for me, because it helped, you know, bring to surface my rage. I won't share that with you. You can go and look for it yourself. But I'm sure if and when you do see it, that you'll feel the same way I did. And unless you're someone who says, hey, we already have too many people out there already, in which case, hey, you know, there must be some other solution. But then again, you know, that's my opinion, and I'm not forcing my opinion on anyone else. But I don't think I know it's not right to force women who don't want to have abortions to have abortions. So, in leaving you, I would say, you know, let's turn this around just a little bit. If you're somebody who's lost a child, this is definitely going to affect you a little bit more, a lot more. I've had a miscarriage, and, you know, my faith really helped me through that, and my family. I have a support system that is amazing. I have other children. It's very difficult to explain the situation to other children at the time. They were very young. But in my situation, I kept it very simple and brief. I was honest. So that's what I would suggest that you do as well. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Please get this video out there. Send it to everyone you know. Make it viral. Have a great day. Think. All right.